So are you thinking of moving to Sarasota? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you 5 of some of the best parks in all of Sarasota. Now, I know when you think of Sarasota, you think beaches and water and sand, but there's a lot of great parks here for kids and for adults. And at the end of the video, if you stick with me, I'm going to run up this hill, the infamous Celery Fields Hill. We'll see if I survive. So if this is your first time on our channel and you want to learn everything there is about living in Sarasota and the surrounding areas, make sure you subscribe and tap that notification bell. My name's Rob Rovnak, and every day we get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you. So reach out at any time. We'd be happy to help you make a smooth move to sunny Sarasota. So come on, let's get going. Let's go see those parks. Now, our first stop today is Urfer Park, right here at the corner of Bee Ridge and Olearys. And living in the area for a long time, over 30 years now, early on when I got here, I was always wondering why this little pocket of dense woods was right in the middle of this very populated area. We're surrounded by nothing but neighborhoods, homes everywhere. So about a dozen years ago, this portion was split, and it was actually given by the Urfer family to the city of Sarasota, or I should say the county of Sarasota, and they built this beautiful, amazing, fun park for kids and adults. Urfer Family Park is truly a playground paradise for kids, young and old. I remember bringing my kids here years ago. They used to love it. And quite frankly, I used to love playing here too. So next stop for lunch, right up the road from Urfer Family Park, is Basil's Flame Broiled Chicken and Ribs. This place is right at the corner of Macintosh and Bee Ridge. And it's got really juicy chicken. I love it so much that I really probably should cut back. But it's been here for 34 years. They've got 2 other locations in Bradenton. Wonderful family-owned operation. Let's go take a look. So here we are in Sarasota's downtown park, Payne Park. Now there's a lot of diverse activities here. You've got tennis courts, you've got a skateboard park, you've got a full amphitheater with a cafe along with that. You've got golf, that's disc golf that is, and plenty of biking and walking trails right here in downtown. So here we are on the grounds of Payne Park, and it's kind of a park within a park. You've got this circus-themed playground behind me. If you notice, there's a theme going throughout Sarasota of this circus because one of our founders and benefactors, John Ringling, put a lot into this city. But this is actually a really cool attraction, and hopefully the kids get a lot of exercise out so they sleep well and their parents can sleep as well. So Payne Park gets its name from the Payne family, which donated these grounds back in the 1920s. Now in the early 20s, they decided to build a baseball park here, which started a long-standing baseball tradition here of spring training here in Payne Park and all across the Suncoast. Back in 1924 is when it started. All the way up to 1989, there was professional baseball spring training here in Payne Park. Now they tore down the stadium and they moved just up the road where the Baltimore Orioles still play, but it's still beautiful. So on these grounds, in this area, you had the Boston Red Sox, you had the Chicago White Sox, you had the New York Giants. So we're walking on fields of legends, maybe in the same footsteps as Babe Ruth and Ted Williams. So quite an impressive park right here, right downtown Sarasota. So here's a quick fact. The Legacy Trail begins or ends, depending on how you look at it, right in the southeast corner of the park. So not only can you ride through the park, you can ride all the way south to Venice. So since we're on the east side of downtown, my suggestion for a quick bite would be the Main Bar Sandwich Shop on East Main Street, right across from the Regal Cinemas Hollywood 11. Great sandwiches since 1958. And believe it or not, some of the staff have worked there for over 20 years, and one person has been there for 40. So here we are in a park that I never get tired of. Bayfront Park right here back downtown. Now on weekends, my wife and I love to come stroll here in the evenings. Just listen to that beautiful sound of the waves against the rocks. Look off into the distance, check out the boats, look at the Ringling Bridge as it's beautifully underlit. At night, that is really nice, but it's just a relaxing place to come. Now, Bayfront Park is sort of our central park with plenty of parking along US 41. You'll see all kinds of different people of different ages. You see families that take the kids. They'll spend the whole day at the playground, at the water park. They'll have a picnic by the bay. You'll see people catching a tan out in the inner lawn. You'll see people catching a nap under the trees. Whether it's locals or worldwide tourists, Bayfront Park is somewhat of a magnetic draw for almost anyone who visits Sarasota or makes it their home. So there's always something to do here at the Bayfront, whether that's a mommy yoga class, maybe a puppy training class, maybe you'd like to charter a big sea fishing vessel there. Take it out and go fishing out into the Gulf. Maybe just take a party cruise with the barge. As you see a little earlier, they were leaving. And maybe you just like to dock your boat. Which one of these babies do you think is mine, huh? I'll let you guess. Hey, I can dream, can't I? So it's getting around lunchtime, so I think we should head over to Olearys. Yes, Olearys Tiki Bar, and get us a nice frozen cocktail. Come join me. Olearys is a Sarasota landmark, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and serving up live music at night. The reggae bands are some of my favorites, and you can even enjoy the sound sitting on a nearby bench right there in the park. Now let's head over to one of my old favorites, Thompson Park on City Island. Now, Thompson Park is situated across the bay from the Van Wezel. You head over the Ringling Bridge, you go through St. Armands, you head right towards Longboat Key, and just before you go over the New Pass Bridge into Longboat Key, you make that right. And there it is, Thompson Park. Now, this is truly one of my favorite views in all of Sarasota. So Thompson Park's natural beauty is quite evident, as you can see behind me, but the whole city island itself is teeming with activity. Just to my right here is the Sarasota Sailing Squadron. It's a private members group, but oftentimes you'll see them teaching young kids, teenagers, how to sail. That's some place where people first learn how to sail. And just up the road, of course, is the world famous Mote Marine Laboratories, one of the best research centers for marine life here in the whole United States, rescuing everything from dolphins to big sea turtles. And just across the street is the Mote Marine Aquarium. Now, people love to see all the exotic fish and all the dolphins and sharks and everything, but I love the touch tank. If you've never touched a manta ray before, you got to try it. And also on the island, there's a bird sanctuary. It used to be called the Pelican Man Bird Sanctuary, but it's a bird sanctuary in general. And there's a lovely little park here for the kids to play. You can see it right behind me there. But it truly is a piece of paradise right here. Thompson Park on City Island. And here's a hidden gem that you probably won't know about. Years ago, I worked at this radio station that was housed at the very end of City Island. So I've been pretty much around the whole island. And at the front of the island, there was this opening. And I used to love to walk out through it, through this hidden mangrove walkway. You'd walk 100, 200 feet, and then you'd see a little bit of sunlight. And there it was, a quiet little vista out into the little Sarasota Bay, just a little nook. And there it was, an opening, and you're staring at the bay. Today is a tough lunch choice because I used to work on the island and one of my absolute favorites was the Bait Shop Burger and Fries. I can't truly describe it, but you'll have to try it yourself. It's awesome. But today my wife is making the lunch choice and we're going with another classic, the Old Salty Dog. Now, if you're looking for a true Sarasota experience, grab lunch and a cold one and enjoy the sights and sounds of New Pass. So here we are on top of what we locals affectionately call the hill. It's 360 acres of preserve land right here on the eastern side of Sarasota, the eastern suburbs. And behind me, if you see the wetlands and everything, it got its name from celery fields because that's what they grew here. In the 1920s, they grew lots of celery. And where I-75 is, that used to be a train line going north to south. And every day they would ship boxes and boxes of celery up north. But in the 80s and 90s, there was some flooding in the eastern neighborhoods. So the county commissioners got together and they created a flood plain or basically flood control out here. So they dug canals, and now when it rains heavily, a lot of the watershed goes this way, and it's really smart, a really smart idea, and it works really well. So it has a dual purpose. It's a nature preserve and it's a flood control. Great idea, and it's a beautiful park.
Now there's something relaxing about these views, and if you look closely you can spot downtown Sarasota or peek in next door to the Big Cat Habitat Animal Sanctuary, home to over 350 animals and 60 different species, known for their lions and tigers and bears, and if you listen close you might even get to hear a lion roar.
So if you know anything about Florida topography, you know that Florida is pretty flat, especially this area in Sarasota. About 10 years ago, they decided to dredge the south portion across from Palmer Road on the south side, make that a little deeper for the wildlife. And they built this beautiful hill behind us, which has really become popular amongst sporting enthusiasts. I see soccer teams, football teams, running clubs, a bunch of people use it. Even my own doctor, hey, he ordered me that I had to run it once a week. Okay, that's not true, but I am gonna run it for you here in just a second. We'll see how I do.
Just across the street from the hill, on the other side of Palmer, you'll find the southern wetlands, teeming with birds, bunnies, butterflies, and other wildlife, with an observation boardwalk where you can walk right out into the preserve. Okay folks, jump on my back because I'm about to run this hill. Let's see how really out of shape I am. All right, here I go. Already breathing hard. Can't stop running until I get there. Whew. Made it to the top. And yes, I'm out of breath. So here we are just around the corner from Celery Fields at JR's Old Packing House Cafe. Now this is what my parents used to call an old hole in the wall, but they've got great food and they claim to have the best Cuban sandwich in all of Sarasota. So my wife thinks so, but I love the burgers. So will it be the burger or the Cuban today? Let's find out. So if you want more information about living in Sarasota and the surrounding areas, or if you just want to know what's on the menu at Olearys Tiki Bar, reach out to us at any time. And make sure that you subscribe to our page and hit the notification bell. This way you'll be the first to know when a new video drops. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.